we're live. We're going. We're alive on this. You're there. I can see you.
Yeah, I'm here.
This is Desisant here after long last. How are you? Who are you? And
Uh,
all those things.
I'm just tired, man. Like I just got to your house after it was like a
Oh,
3 hour drive.
I don't want
You know.
people knowing that I run this. I prefer to think of this as a podcast acres, not my home. uh, like
Well,
like
it's more of a studio than a home.
well, yeah, but I mean, I live here, and
Yeah.
I I mean,
You sleep under the control mixers,
well, that's neither here nor there. That's
like the desk,
no, this is personal. You're breaking the magic. This is
Yeah.
a studio, and my current living situation is a very private and personal. uh how are you? This is uh George Shooter Nolan joining us here on Podcast Terrible Season 2. The We've been long last. How are you, George?
Oh, as I said, I'm pretty tired, long trip, but
You don't
I'm
live under a damn mixing board. I don't want to hear any of your shit.
yeah, I know. Like at least I have a normal habitat.
Well, yeah, I
But
mean, I times are rough and tough and stuff.
yeah.
Uh, but you're good.
Yeah.
Hap,
No,
yeah,
no complaints.
yeah, and as you will know now, the YouTube audience is now able to see video of us in the studio,
Yeah, live and in flesh, live
live,
action.
flesh, high fidelity, and really, really high budget stuff based on reality. What have you been up to apart from your exhausting drive?
Just working a lot.
Yeah.
That's I try to keep it private, but I may use this podcast right here as a platform to talk about my business. But
Oh,
I'll
good.
probably bring that up later.
All right.
But it's yeah, just living la vida loca.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Living, breathing, selling out. We've got a
Well, I
captive.
like to think of it as buying in.
Oh, yeah. Well, what's the practical difference?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I was hoping you'd tell me.
Uh, well, yeah, it's all a matter of perspective.
Let's
Um,
see.
a matter of perspective. So you were telling me recently that you were honored with a special honor, and I'd like to hear a little bit more about that.
Oh yeah, actually, I just got a the highest honor you can get in the martial arts and sciences.
Wait, in both of there's an honor specifically for science and martial arts at the same time.
Martial art and martial science.
Oh, all right. What is it, and how did you get it?
All right, well, it's the diamond belt.
The
I got awarded the diamond belt.
uh, what does that mean?
That means I am the greatest martial artist and scientist, uh, maybe on the planet, at least on the planet. Yep, it's a universal sort of honor, and it encompasses all styles of martial arts and science.
Uh, uh, okay, I'll bite. Is this for doing science and martial arts simultaneously, or is it just one award that umbrellas achievements in both separately?
It's the latter. But you martial art and martial science aren't really different things, you know. It's just that's, you know, wise people realize that martial art is more than art. There's science behind it. You know, like there's like a physics to throwing a punch or something.
Yeah, uh, that's yeah that okay. Yeah,
That's
that's
just I mean that's what we call it, us, you know, martial artists and scientists. That's what we call it, you know, those who of us who are in the know, you know.
well, I'm not really in the know about that, I guess. Uh, so what? Give us an example of your scientific achievements.
It's uh I just mastered the I just mastered the practice of the martial art and science to a great degree. You know, it's not like I'm in the lab researching, you know.
What?
I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
It's a uh so you know martial arts and science, right? Like karate.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I got this belt for just showing that I have mastered the practice and application of martial arts and science in my life and in the world.
So, all right. So, all martial arts, or one of them, like karate or others.
For it encompasses all martial arts and sciences.
So you're a general martial arts expert,
Yeah,
uh, and a general science expert.
no, martial science.
Martial. Tell us about martial science.
It's the science behind violence, I guess,
Oh,
against behind war. You know,
fi- oh,
martial is like based off of military.
right.
So martial art is a fighting art. So a martial science is a fighting science. That's it.
How how do you test your theories?
Just uh practical application.
Are, are, so I've got a suspicion here that you gave yourself an award that you're calling a diamond belt,
No,
just because you
an
hit somebody
organization gave me this belt.
for going around hitting people.
Well, I'm not hitting people. Like the first lesson of martial arts is to not get into any fights that are unnecessary.
I, I mean,
So
that's
by I haven't gotten into a fight in years. So that's like winning at, you know, the martial arts and science.
yeah. Well, it's definitely a good thing, but they, I mean, being non-violent should be sort of the goal for normal, not really something that you'd get an award for.
Well, it's think of it as giving people something to, you know, to look up to try to achieve.
Uh,
You know,
yeah. Who?
like have you heard of the Nobel Peace Prize? Like
Yeah.
people should be doing that kind of stuff. It's just that some people have done it to a greater extent. So, yeah. So I've mastered martial arts to such a great extent that others should be following my example.
Who gave you an award for your non-violence?
The Universal Academy of Martial Arts and Sciences.
Uh, 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 okay. Yeah, great. Congratulations. That's this is George Shooter Nolan, proud recipient of the Diamond Belt Award from the National Academy of Martial Arts and Sciences.
Universal
Yeah.
Academy.
Oh, yeah. Well,
And you know what? You've actually been awarded a belt too.
cool.
Yeah, I sit on the board, so like as
Yeah.
a founding member,
Oh,
so I can make these decisions.
yeah. This is making a bit more sense now. What belt has your organization awarded me?
We've decided to award you the pink belt.
All right. Why?
As a in recognition to your service to the feminist movement
Oh,
as a male ally. So
happy to have. I'm happy to help. Thank you for the belt.
yep, it's our great honor. We hope you wear it everywhere you go.
Uh, sure. Yeah. Uh, y- you know, it's always hard to find a good belt. I put a belt through the wash the other day, and the buckle fell off. So I will wear this pink belt to hold my pants up. Thank
Well,
you.
yeah, the thing is, the buckle will never fall off. That's the thing.
How do you design a belt so the buckle can't fall off?
You knot it. You tie it around your waist and knot it.
Oh, this is like the little belt with the gi. I was thinking the big wrestling belt, but
Oh, that's actually a great idea.
yeah,
Yeah,
big
we
buckle.
should move towards that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if it's just sort of a flat rope, it seems like it'd be generally a bit too large to fit into belt loops anyway. But I might have a better go of it than I would at one of those wrestling belts. I mean, they don't seem to hold up uh, pants anyway.
Yeah,
It's just
that's true. I've never thought about it that way. I've never seen belt loops that can fit around one of those boxing or wrestling belts.
yeah. I think that that would probably improve wrestling a little bit if
But it'll
instead
make
of
the belt more
wearing
prestigious.
well, more useful. I mean, I think utilitarianism is prestigious. If the wrestlers instead of being like oily bodybuilders in and acrobats in tights, they could wear like a shirt and pants and a belt that holds their pants up with just a big buckle on them to show which event they won. Would that fix wrestling, do you think?
No, I think what would fix wrestling is if wrestling organizations were criminal organizations that made their bad guy wrestlers actually be bad guys and do crimes.
Well, they wouldn't be getting many uh, diamond belts. Why do you feel this way?
It's just wrestling feels too fake for me now, you know. Like, a lot of it is like people winking at the camera, acknowledging it's staged. So
Is it?
by trying what
No,
happened?
no. In their performance, do they actually indicate to the audience that it is staged?
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
It's not really wrestling. It's more like a series of gymnastic maneuvers. A
No.
lot of people jumping off the top rope, even though it wouldn't make sense to do it that often in combat.
Well, I mean, it's always been that. I haven't watched wrestling for a very long time. Do they actually indicate these days that it is fake?
Yeah, I think like in their speeches, they like make like references to it being fake,
Really?
or the way they wrestle, they make no effort to make it look real. You know, they would just try to get from one stunt to the next. Without showing damage or anything like that.
Is that a recent development?
I
Where
think it's probably it's something that's been getting worse for probably 15 years or so.
I haven't watched much wrestling in that time. I mean, it's a great work of athleticism and performance, but generally, people know that they're watching. Uh, I mean, certainly more than an orchestrated soap opera. It's physically intensive work, but I didn't know that the culture of wrestling performance tried to make it more obvious that it was fake. I didn't know that they left their attempts at immersion. I'm out of the loop.
Yeah. Well, it's you're not really missing anything.
Oh
There's
well,
this one small there's this one company where they have this guy. His character is he's a short guy, but he wrestles
yeah.
like he's a giant.
Wait,
You know,
how do you wrestle like you're a giant?
so you he'd lumber around like he's like like he's like a giant, and he'd like do do moves on people like choke slams that that a giant would do.
Yeah.
So
What?
but no
What?
is bad.
You hiccuped or hicked up. You. What did you say?
Hiccuped.
Or hicked up? If you like.
Hiccuped.
Hicked up. You hicked up.
uh,
What did you say after the little wrestler who wrestles like a giant somehow? What would you say?
there's like this match that shows why wrestling is bad. It is this guy called Joey Ryan, and he wrestled a match by using his wiener as an offensive weapon.
Well, I mean, it kind of is anyway. I don't know who you're talking about or what the show is, but is it possible that you were just watching pornography?
No, this is in Japan. Don't have that there.
Yeah,
No,
I
like
believe they
no, he
do.
didn't have his wiener out of his like shorts, right?
Yeah.
So he make motions like with his crotch, and like his opponent would like flip around and stuff, pretending like the wiener is flipping him about.
I, like one of those chi fights where they don't actually touch, but they pretend to throw energy balls and stuff.
Yeah, I guess you could say it's like a battle of chi, but with his wiener.
So battle of uh, P. Well, that no, that'd be something else.
Oh yeah. And there's like this other one where this guy he wrestled an imaginary wrestler.
This the Japanese wrestling still?
I think this is like in America.
Oh, no, wasn't that oh, who was that? He wrestled an imaginary bear and wrestled women. Did
Oh, that's Andy Kaufman.
did Andy Kaufman wrestle a bear,
I don't think so. I think
like
he just wrestled women.
an imaginary bear?
I don't think so.
What? Where am I getting
Uh,
that from? Some, well, so what's this have to do with you were talking about Dark Side or something?
Dark Side of the Ring.
No, what's that mean?
Oh, that's like it's this documentary show. It's about like just like sorted stories from like wrestling behind the scenes.
Oh, uh,
But it's pretty much it's the only side of the ring is the dark side.
right.
The
What?
ring seems like the darkest place you can be, according to this show.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about almost everything you've said. So
Oh yeah.
what's so dark about being uh a wrestler? Why would that performance be dark?
It's just the apparently the lifestyle is an extreme lifestyle, and anyone who does it's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, they're all like criminals and stuff according to this show.
oh,
It's
really?
like
Like,
this Yeah, this like this one guy, he was like a wrestler, but he was also in the mafia. And
oh,
this other guy, he was like a wrestler, but he was also the leader of a biker gang, and he ended up like exploding a police station.
that like the Big Show or Triple H that did that?
No, it was this guy called Johnny Canine. He was like a jobber. That's like one of those guys who gets paid to lose to the Yeah, the big time wrestlers.
Was this like on one of the mainstream wrestling things?
Yeah, like back in his day, they had like multiple companies, but yeah, he would wrestle on WWF and stuff. He even wrestled like Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
So he
well,
was you know, an established professional.
yeah. Well, that's that's good.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I've got uh, much to add on that. There's something that we've been bouncing around for a little while, and so when we started this, we spent a long time with a preamble of what we should actually name the show, and when we finally
That's
got it, you
the
what?
name. You talking
Yeah,
about the name of this show?
the name. Oh, the name of this show.
Oh yeah,
And
we can just call it George and Friend.
George,
Doing the G style with
doing it
George and Friend.
well. Yeah, what what is G style? Is that
Yeah.
George
That's
style?
a new thing I've done I've come up with.
All right,
It's a lifestyle. It's for people who demand the best in themselves and of others.
and and it's called the G style.
It's short for George style.
Well, no, I mean I get it. That so all right. That's a thought. I mean, when we came up with this, the name, there didn't seem to be anything else, at least that I could find. And then we start doing the show for a while, and you see the word PUD cast often, or not often. There's a couple shows with similar names,
Oh
and
yes.
uh, I was unaware of that before we started, and then you pointed it out. I looked for it, but I didn't find it. Um,
Oh, you didn't find those other guys with the
no,
same name?
no, well, no, it's not the same name, but I didn't when we'd been uploading, like before we started uploading anything from the first season. Um, I looked around, and I don't know why, but I didn't find any of that. But then you mentioned it, and there's like three or four other projects that use the word Pudcast.
Yep.
And, uh, but I wonder if Pudcast Terrible is distinct enough, and if Pudcast, the U instead of the D, or not so the O, is common enough uh, that's not really much of an issue.
It's yeah, I don't think it's distinct enough because a lot like it does not indicate to my fans that I'm on the show. And so maybe the podcast with George that would work.
Oh, yeah.
But as it stands, it's probably too similar to too many other podcasts because it's distinct. It's like in that weird spot where it's there's not enough other ones that it's a common way to say it,
Yeah.
but there's just enough of them to be issue for confusion.
That's see, that's a thought. But Pud podcast with George, you like that.
Yeah, well, maybe doing a G style with George and Friend. That's the one I've been pushing for. I think that's what the fans want.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh, well, we'll have to take that under consideration.
how
Uh,
about Big Banana, Little Banana?
what I mean, I mean that kind of leads into doing it D's style, you know,
Oh yeah,
because uh, yeah. Well, we'd match it, but you see the picture there. I've got it framed and everything, and
oh yeah.
I just drawing on the picture. I'm sure the other projects that use the similar name are wonderful things. I'm just sort of vaguely aware I'm not sure what they do. Um, but maybe we should revisit the thought. You were talking about a utopic idea. You you had a thought.
Oh, the way the world should work.
Yeah, you said something about that.
Well, there's a way I can see the world working. I've told you about this before. I'm surprised you don't remember, but it's it's a system of government where everyone is in the mental health system. I was thinking about this because we have the most mental illness of all time in the nowadays, right?
Uh,
There's never been more mental illness than ever, right? So why not have a society that has everyone treated for mental illness, already?
what,
Why not make mental health a way of life?
what, well, I mean, that's
So,
it seems like there are the seeds of like, what are you talking about?
well, like, so you're asking me like, what kind of world is this, right?
Yeah,
Then
what
how,
happens?
like how does this work, right?
Yeah.
So everyone is, everyone in the society is in like three classes, right?
Uh,
There's everyone's either a psychiatrist, an orderly, or a patient,
ev-
right?
everyone?
Yes, everyone's society. Everyone, like, those are the three kinds of people in a mental hospital, right?
Okay.
So everyone in society will fit in one of these roles.
Yeah.
So so it's like determined like in childhood, they funnel the smartest of people as into psychiatry, right? And that would include like administration and all that stuff, as
What
well as like
what about people
treatment.
who are both smart and mentally ill?
Both smart and mentally ill.
Yeah.
So that would they would be patients.
Oh. Uh, so all of society. So who's keeping the lights on and people fed and all that?
The orderlies. And also, well, there's orderlies are the people who keep order, right? They enforce the rules,
So
right?
they're doing like all the farming and running
No, the patients are.
the, the oh
The patients are, because in this society, like, the patients will work because people can work in mental hospitals, right? People work in prisons, like in the kitchen and all that, and like cleaning stuff, right? So it'd be that
so
sort of system.
so the patients in this mental health world are effectively uh, living out lives of forced labor to keep a system going to treat them.
Yeah, I guess so. It's not, yeah, I mean, like, it's not forced, like you'd want to work, rather than staying in your like cell all day. Like you don't want to go to the rubber room all day, be in a straight jacket.
Is it wait if
They
you're
have the
given
option not to work. They'll just be put in a higher category classification, I guess.
uh, that sounds like uh, but that's a terrible idea.
What do you mean? Like they're not forced to work. It's just that if they want like certain privileges,
Yeah.
they work, because they have the incentives to work. It's privileges.
Well, the incentive to work is either they work or they get thrown into a padded room alone in a straitjacket.
Well, that's because they're being mentally unstable if they're refusing to work.
Uh,
They're becoming more insane.
this this topic, I mean, I think I know where you would fall in this society.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd be a psychiatrist,
Uh,
probably
that's
like a professor of psychiatry.
yeah.
I'd
Uh,
have tenure.
yeah. Well, all right. That's that sounds like the sort of idea that a person who is themselves interned into interned in a mental hospital might have. You know.
Why? What's so crazy about it?
Uh, okay, so you got a society where all the labor is done by people who either work or are bound and shoved alone into a room. So either you work or solitary confinement, and then there's a level above them that enforces everything, and then there's a level above them that writes all the rules and feeds
Yes.
people information and tells them how to live. Are you trying to say something about the way the world actually works?
No,
I see what you're doing.
no, I'm
You're
saying
trying
some.
you're being critical of how society operates and making it seem as if it's a insane asylum.
No, not at all, man.
Because
I'm just saying it's a criticism. Just saying the way the world should work or it could work.
I mean, people aren't bound and put into padded rooms and straitjackets, but they are cut off from all resources and allowed to suffer and die. I mean, we have a where'd you go? We have a uh geez, I mean, my thoughts are
Yeah.
beautifully dancing just out of my reach.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
I'm just there might be parallels to the way society is currently, but a
so
it's
so
not a
you
commentary on
you
the
would
way.
add the padded room.
Like
Right?
I don't even want to live in such a society. I'm just saying this
What?
is a way a society could operate.
No, you said it was a ideal utopia.
A utopia means no place.
That means what?
A utopia, I think it's Greek for no place.
Well,
It's
no,
not necessarily a good place. I
I
think
think
in the
it.
Greek,
Yeah, yeah.
it's a place that doesn't exist.
Well,
It could be that it exists because it's so great,
yeah.
But yeah, I'm just saying this place does not exist, but this is like a hypothetical way of operating the world that could happen.
I don't think that like all hypotheticals are referred to as utopias.
I see.
Like
Well, I was using the Greek definition.
oh, well done, a man of great learning. Uh,
And maybe some people might think it's a utopia. So, you know, like
uh, I mean,
how about like 1984? People say it's a dystopia, right? But
yeah.
some people think, hey, that's actually a good way of living. It's
I
not a dystopia to them.
no. That I don't know who would think that's a good way to live. Even the people who rule the society in that book are living restricted lives, but they exist to control other people. There didn't seem to be anybody depicted in 1984 that was living in any kind of luxury. It it seems the people that were living the least stressful lives at all were the proles, uh, but they still could be black bagged for any reason, or uh, something would blow up, or some of them would be killed. It where have you heard that 1984 would be a good way to live? That
No, I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure that there are people out there who'd want to live in the 1984 world, right?
what?
Even
Why?
though I don't know. There's like all sorts of like crazy people.
Yeah,
But
yeah, but
let's say I'm pretty sure there has to be some guy who's reading 1984 and saying, "Oh man, this is the way life should be."
oh,
And it's not a dystopia to him, even though like pretty universally it's considered a dystopia.
yeah, yeah. Well, all right. I mean,
Maybe I just misjudged like how people would react to my idea. Maybe I thought people think it's a utopia. You
Uh,
know,
I mean, do
I
the
as- I assumed most people would want to live in such a mental health utopia. You know, so that
where
would be regarded as such.
well, I mean, so you take away financial incentive to work and just do a cut off resources, fear based incentive. We're going to bind people and put them in padded rooms, and that is the incentive to get them to work. That's that sounds worse than where we are at, and places that have explored similar ideas that devalue the individual to such a high amount to keep the thing flowing, but still feed them. I guess are these people in padded rooms being starved?
No, they're not being starved. It's just that, well, I think the main incentive is like having something to do that is not being in like intense therapy sessions all day, or like what I'm saying. It's like having something to occupy your day with, because the life of a mental inmate can be pretty boring. So most people would want to be working it, as a
Uh,
way to pass the time.
well, I can't say that
So
I'm.
work itself is the privilege.
I mean, it can be. Uh, I'm not really sold by your idea. Um, yeah, you were mentioning to me that there was a hypothetical you wanted to discuss in a sequence in a segment that you wanted to call hypothetical corner, and
Oh yeah,
this
that's where I corner you with a hypothetical.
well, that's been this entire episode. So let's continue the trend. Corner me with a hypothetical. Let's have it.
All right, well, I think that the was it that mental health utopia is pretty much a hypothetical.
Yeah.
So let's say you found yourself in that world. Where
Yeah.
would you fall in the classifications?
Oh, well, I'd rather be a hammer than a nail. Hopefully, I would be the psychiatrist class. I hope that would be nice.
Oh yeah, but would you work to maintain the system, or would you try to bring it all down?
Oh,
Would you like speak out against it?
I mean, I I don't know if I'm in a system that seems to be designed to keep me well, and others have to do without so that me and my cast can have more than enough. Would there be enough of an incentive to try and break down a system that keeps me alive, even if it has the potential to ameliorate the lives of people that are being restricted and harmed? Uh, I, I don't know. I mean, if I grew up in sort of a mad society like that, and I was one of the top of the haves, uh, you could keep yourself pretty well distanced from reality if you were in that situation, couldn't you?
Yeah, but don't you like have uh the sense of wrong and right? Like, would you say that the way they're doing it is like morally wrong?
Yeah, yeah. It's you've painted a disgusting picture.
Oh yeah, what's so disgusting about it?
Uh, well, in the lower caste, people are either working or they're punished. It sounds like at least for part of it, how much of human history is operated. It's an extreme example of how the world is. It it doesn't sound very nice to the patients.
Oh yeah, like you don't think getting mental health care is nice?
That's those those don't seem to be related. I think mental health is a terribly neglected thing. uh, as you say, higher than ever, at least recognized. But I don't see how keeping people in a constantly oppressive state so you can work on their state of mind is a good way to deal with the mental health crisis.
Well, like that's just everyone's getting like intensive treatment. I don't see how that's not effective. Like,
What?
see, isn't the problem that there's not enough mental health treatment? So in this society, there's more of it. So that's got to be better.
Uh, yeah.
Like no one's getting their mental health neglected.
Okay. Let's say uh, there's a country somewhere in the world that people are all just there's no food. There's been years of famine. Everybody's starving to death. It seems like you're proposing like the equivalent would be traveling over there and surgically putting food into their stomachs until they're so full they can't stand up. Uh, you're saying the whole society ought to run around keeping people oppressed so you can give them medicine and therapy. No, I I don't have enough wherewithal at the moment to really delve into your insane idea. This doesn't make any damn sense.
Oh, it makes a lot of sense. It's got like every like function of society figured out. Like, most of the people will be patients, and patients will do the building and the planting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then there'll be caretakers like the what was it, the orderlies. They're there to ensure people follow the rules and keep people safe. And then there's the psychiatrists who decide what is or what is not mentally ill.
Oh, well, I'm I'm just not sold. But regarding your hypothetical, I don't know how I would react. Uh, I can say that the operation would be different if I was a patient. I'd want to uh, escape the bonds of the orderlies, and I'd recognize that the system is set up to prop up the psychiatrists, and I would speak out and against that. I'd try and not be involved in that
Oh,
society, I imagine.
so that that would happen is that you'll be sent into like intensive treatment because that will be considered insane behavior.
Yeah.
Your medication will be increased. You'll be more locked up
Uh,
because you're not making rational decisions, according to psychiatrists.
where, okay.
So by doing that, you're demonstrating insanity, right?
Easily, yes.
So that just means that they'll treat you even more, give you more attention for your mental health.
Oh dear. This this topic is not particular. What all, all right. What would you do? What would you do if you found yourself on one of those casts? What would you do if you were the top? Would you rebel? And if you were the bottom, would you fight back even if it meant being punished for it?
Yeah, I'm pretty much a hero. Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh,
I'll probably it'll be like, have you seen this movie Spartacus?
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I imagine I'd react the way Spartacus did.
Okay. Uh, is that if you were a psychiatrist or if you were a patient?
Both.
Both.
Yeah, because like I'm so great that even if I was a patient or an orderly or a psychiatrist, the
Yeah.
force of my personality and leadership skills, I'll get a successful uprising because of my strategic and like uh, oratory brilliance. I'm like one of those great men of. I'll be like one of those great men of history.
Oh, well,
Like that's who's undeniable, you know.
yeah, yeah, no one could possibly disagree with that. Well, that beeping, if it came through, was our dear friend Helper Bell from the uh, production, and we are out of time. Do you have any shout outs that you would like to make?
Oh man, that's yeah. I'd like to shout out to Tokyo, Japan.
Oh, yeah.
So I heard that's a good city. I've never been there, but it's I heard that the sushi at the 7-Eleven makes the sushi you get at the finest sushi places in America seem like turds.
Yeah, like I'd like to go there and get one of their toilets that thanks you for using them. That seems like it'd be a real treat, both
I
for
don't know. It
me and
seems too
the toilet.
complicated.
No, no, you just the toilet greets you, you help it out, it thanks you, and you both go on with what you were doing before. Sounds great.
Yeah. I mean, if I was gonna go fancy with my toilet, the
Yeah,
one thing I'll get, I wouldn't care about. I wouldn't want like to greet me or anything like that or make noises. I'll just install a bidet.
bidet. Yeah, the bidet. I think the heated seats would be nice too.
Oh yeah, but like bidet is like my number one thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I'd get a bidet. That's your thing. Your thing is bidets.
well, I've never used one, but if I was
Well,
gonna upgrade my toilet, that's the first upgrade I'll get.
yeah. Well, from both of us, me, Desisand, and
Oh
this woolly shambler, George Shooter Nolan here, whose thing is bidets.
no, it's not. But let me tell you something about bidets, though.
Uh,
I heard someone's like who uses a bidet. Here's how he described the advantage of using a bidet is you wash your dishes, you don't wipe your dishes. So that's why you should get a bidet.
well, on that note, thank you for listening. We hope to talk more about proper hygiene in the future.
Yeah, it's a public service, and anyone in Omaha, Nebraska, or Lincoln, Nebraska, you've been shouted out.
Shout, you guys, you got it.